Good morning, traders. This is Wilkey with Startup Trading. It is 8:36 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, May 18, 2020. So let's look at just some of the news for the week on the trade sheet. So we've got we have Powell testifying on Tuesday at 10 a.m. I guess he was on 60 Minutes last night, and then we have meeting minutes Wednesday at 2 p.m. from the meeting minutes of April 28th and 29th. And then we have unemployment claims weekly on Thursday at 8:30. We have flash PMI Thursday at 9:45. Powell's going to give some opening remarks at Fed Listens on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. So, and just a reminder, next Monday the markets will be closed for Memorial Day on the 26th. So a lot of Jerome Powell this week, and I guess starting off last night as well. So let's scroll down here and look at earnings. Tuesday morning before the bell, we're going to have Home Depot and Walmart. That's going to mainly, they're both Dow components that could drag the Dow up or down a little bit more than the rest of the indices. And you can look at the rest of the earnings, but those are the two big noticeable ones for the week to me. And then as we go down and look at our 10-day range analysis, we can see that we're still averaging basically overnight right around 46 points, for the session 63, first hour 28, and for the bell to bell about 46 as well. So let's look at the 5-day charts just relative to each other. We should do this at least on Mondays. If you have the sheet, obviously you can look at it every day as I post it. So Russell is back to underperforming, right? You've got the Dow and the ES back to the middle of the road, and the Nasdaq, the NQ, as the outperformer on the 5-day, looking about the same. On the 10-day, you can see the relative strength for the Nasdaq back to leadership again on the 10-day. You can see on the 15-day, the Russell is still right in here, so it's still struggling. You've got the ES, passing up, and the Dow's the lagger 15 days back. Looking at the last 20 days, you can see that the Russell, because it had those nice pops a couple different days, it is still, in second place here. Looking at the 60-day cash, though, this really shows the story, as you can see what's going on with the Russell and the Nasdaq, and you can see the middle of the pack for the Dow. So if you want beta plays, right, to the upside, you should be looking at Nasdaq. If you want beta plays to the downside, whenever you think that's going on, you should really be looking to the Russell for underperformance. So, and then looking at the year to date, you can see the Nasdaq is still positive, right, and it's getting near back near that 12% high that it had earlier already, right? It's at 6%, 6% up right now. So as we look at where it is year to date, the Nasdaq's up 4.8%, ES is down 11, Dow's down 17, and the Russell's down 25. So I think we beat up the news. So before we get into looking at everything, let's just go back and look at the, from the February 19th, 20th high, depending on if you're looking at overnight or bell to bell. This is the bell to bell daily chart that I'm looking at. Extended's turned off. But you can see, the epic fall, the rise back up. But what I really want to focus on was everything going on from, basically April 9th on. So if we look at, April 9th on, we've really got stuck, right? There's 26 sessions here. Today is going to be the 27th session, and we're in this range. So as we look, out at this range and really see where we're, consolidating, you can see it's about, basically from down here at 27.20 up to 29.40. So you got, 220, 225 point range that we're smoking back and forth between here. And if you look at, this is last Monday is the green candle, Tuesday, the big red down, followed by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So as you look at it, we're popping up, 80 points overnight tonight. We're still, right now, we're getting near the top end of where this downturn took place. So this is going to be interesting if we can, start smoking and getting above here. We've really went parabolic overnight. So getting across that 29.42 and that 29.65 is going to be what's the key for me here. So looking at last week, and I made a video that you can look at as well, talking about why the support was where it was for Friday's session. And I went into, great lengths explaining, this section of the chart and why, that was as low. And as on Friday's trade plan, when I was coming in and talking about it, I said, don't get too exuberant to the downside. This could be around where the lows of the day are, right? We could be much closer to the bottom. So as we talked about this, but if you look at it, coming back on that retest again of this area and just failure to get back in there on Friday, look at the pattern coming up from there. This is what a short squeeze really looks like. So you got new traders piling in. You got, all these traders that just never got out of this position and that were shorting, at different times after that. Just really regretting life now, and they're full of regret. And the short squeeze pattern is, just the sequence of lower highs going up. You're not really watching how high the highs go. You're watching how low the lows do not go, right, to do the short squeeze. So the short squeeze will be in play, right, until someone finally gets rewarded for holding on a stupid position. So we'll see when that comes, but notice that we're getting close to R4A up here at 29.46 half. So if we look at all the indices and we see where they are, obviously they're all above Friday's high, which is the red dash line. As we're skating across here looking at them, we can see that everyone, is doing very well. You got the Russell up 5.6%. You got the Nasdaq up 2%. You've got the ES up 2.5%, almost 3%, and the Dow up 3.25%. Now again, we're looking at these R4As and Bs already this morning. So chances are, we're going to get some consolidation after the bell rings, and we're not going to just continue smoking up past these levels. About 7 days a year, you'll actually get, gumption above or below a level 4B, and that's just something that you don't want to play for. Could today be the day? Of course it could, but if you make that bet every time you think that, you're going to come out on the losing side as a trader. So let's look at some sequences overnight, and really we're at an extension sequence on the ES, and that's just on a micro draw from the overnight session. That's going to come in at 28.97 half, basically up to this high, and then you can watch for a break of that potentially. And as you look at the this over here, the lower left is from Friday's action. But if we look at the right side, the top of this chart is checking for bullish sequences. The bottom is checking for bearish sequences on these grids when I show them to you. So what you really are seeing is every time a new high is made, the bears have their hopes reset, right? They just need it to go down. And what you're seeing is every time this 61.8 gets broken, this orange line, right, they're just smoking to the upside. So every time that the bears think they got something going, they put a stop on the board, they're just getting their stops run. Look at the Nasdaq holding the 38.2 overnight, holding the 38.2. It's not into extensions as far as I'm concerned with what I'm looking at. It just is this same old draw. So right now, 24.5 would be where that comes into play for that 38.2, and 29.0275 will be the halfway back. So it's not as aggressive. Looking at the Russell, it's in an aggressive sequence basically from 29.79.8 too high, and that's the sequence I'd be watching for it on a micro draw just from this session. So looking at the ES, right, we kept screwing around with this 2881, right? We never could get over it with any conviction for a while, right? Now we're, we ended down here Friday, and we're, up, like I said, we're up 80.5 points at this point in time. So as we come back up, we're at the top of these zones, and all these could have been places that we could have paused, and you can see we broke the 28.95 half, we broke the 29.06 quarter, we broke the 29.21, and now we're going to be approaching this 29.39. So one thing you have to watch though, although we flew by these support resistance markers on the way up, they can act as floors on the way back down. So don't take them off your charts just yet. Leave them there. As we look at the Nasdaq now, the same way, we can see that and I'll zoom in over here, is getting above this 29, the 92 half. So the next real resistance I have above is going to be basically at 94.08, 94.09. And you can see that we've paused here before, so you're going to have to respect this 92.26. But for the most part, unless something odd happens this week, the Nasdaq's probably going to churn and start building some time and energy and volume between 92 half and 94.10. Looking at the Dow, the Dow is finally breaking through, right? I'm going to extend this out so you can see it. Once again, is trying to get past this support resistance area. So you can see, nothing. Again, coming up from Friday, coming up. So watch 24,171, give or take probably 20 Dow points. It's a pretty big range, but the Dow's already up 736 points. If you think you're going to pick, where this is stopping to the tick, you probably need to look at a 40-point window. So as for a retracement entry. So as you're looking at this, watch to see if this can hold, and then the same thing with these previous highs, which is right around where we are now. You could also throw out one from last Monday, Tuesday, where those highs were, and see if that ends up turning into support. Taking out that high really just gets you back up to this 24,555. Looking at the Russell here, again, burning through all these potential resistance spots in the charts, but they could end up being support later today. So that's going to be 1304.50, 1297, 1284.30. I don't think we're going to get down that far unless it just turns into horribleness. 1353.60 is what I'm looking at for the next major resistance above, and then 1377.30 is what I have above that. And you can see we didn't even make it up there the last time we were at this area of the chart. Again, we have been parabolic, so watch for probably a little bit of volatility, but not much of a pullback. Remember, all these indices are in that short squeeze pattern, meaning that if you're short here, right, and you wait to cover, right, now it's moved up. Look at the pullback, how shallow it is. The pullbacks are shallow because any little bit of a pullback that's given, the shorts are just like, oh, at least I got some of my money back. I'm out of this thing. So that's what really moves the market. And again, if you get a chance to go back sometime this week and watch why Friday's support was Friday's support, I think there's something that you could learn from that. So again, looking at all the indices, remember these level 4s are up here. I'll read them off. The Russell 1347, and I'll go to 4B here. The Nasdaq 95.92 quarter. I don't think we're hitting up there, so I would watch the R3 first. 80 or 93.87 is where that's going to fall on. For the ES, 29.67. Remember, we topped out at 29.65 in the overnight on this most recent swing up not too long ago. So it would make sense that we're going to test that area of the chart. Maybe not today, after some retracement, some back and filling, but potentially at least tomorrow. And then for the Dow, you're looking at 24,457. I hope this helps. I hope you guys have a great day. And I will talk to you tomorrow. If you like this video and you like this technical analysis, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of it, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel and you'll get lots more from Jack and myself. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.